It is, and you've made the case that this feeling of transcendence and even consciousness is an emergent phenomenon. You have described yourself as a spiritual materialist. First question will be, what is spiritual materialism? And then let me add some follow ups. If you feel this feeling of transcendence is whatever it is, cannot be measured by science, if science is not the right tool to finally solve this vitalism mechanism debate, then what is the right tool? Will we ever be able to measure it or quantify it?
Okay, well, let's start with spiritual materialism. And for some years now, I've called myself a spiritual materialist.
Yes.
Materialist. And so by materialism, I don't mean that I have a Rolls Royce in my garage or that I have Armani suits in my closet. I mean something very literal, that I think that the world is made out of just atoms and molecules and nothing more. And the reason I call myself a spiritual materialist is because I have had what I call spiritual experiences or spiritual feelings. For example, feeling part of the stars when I look up at them at night, feeling connections to nature, the appreciation of beauty, feelings of awe, falling in love. The collection of all of these experiences are what I call my version of spirituality. So now, the second part of your question is, if this is not, if these spiritual moments or transcendent experiences are not fully understood or reducible by science, where are they? Where are they located? What are they? And here I have kind of a nuanced view of this. I think that all mental experiences, all mental sensations are ultimately rooted in the material brain. That is, in the 100 billion neurons and the trillions of connections between them. I think that every mental sensation is rooted there. But at the same time, I think that we have some experiences, especially complex human emotions, human feelings, that really cannot be understood just in terms of the material brain. And I think that such experiences, and of course, consciousness is the most profound, fundamental mental sensation that we have. Consciousness.
Yes.
How does consciousness arise from the material brain? It's a great question. I don't think that neuroscientists know the answer. I don't think philosophers do. But it is, to me, it is the fundamental scientific question. So, for some years now, scientists have discussed something that we call emergent phenomena, which are phenomena of systems of many parts that cannot be understood on the basis of individual parts. And one example are the so-called termite cathedrals, which are these castles of mud that termites build, and they're very intricate. They have passageways and designs to circulate air, to control humidity. They're very well designed and very complex. And you ask, how do the 100,000 termites know to build such a thing? Is there a boss termite that's telling them what to do? Or are there some termite plans, architectural plans that they follow? And of course, there's none of that. In fact, individual termites are blind. They can't even see. So how could they erect some structure like this? Well, that's an example of an emergent phenomena where we can understand everything about an individual termite, but how these 100,000 termites get together and create this magnificent termite cathedral, we don't really understand. we understand parts of it, but not all of it. And I think that the amazing phenomena of the human brain, like consciousness, falling in love, feeling connected to the stars, those are emergent phenomena, that we understand how individual neurons work pretty well, and how electricity flows through a neuron, how they connect to other neurons chemically at the synapses. But when you put a few hundred neurons together, even a few hundred, much less the 100 billion of the brain, we can't predict how that system is going to behave. And that doesn't mean that it's not rooted in individual neurons. That doesn't mean that there's some supernatural essence that's taking place. But it just means that the system is so incredibly complicated that we can't make predictions about its qualitative behavior. And that's what an emergent phenomenon is. And I think that's that many of the things the human brain does are emergent phenomena.